So we're gonna glaze our multi-cell pinch pot. It's been sitting on the shelf for a while, so it's probably collected some dust. So you're gonna want to take a sponge that has just a tiny bit of moisture and clean out the little dust particles. If you glaze a dusty piece of pottery, sometimes the glaze will pinhole on you. Basically, little holes will form on the surface of the glaze because dust is trapped underneath there. And the dust is actually little pieces of fired clay. So I'm just gonna clean this very slightly. You don't want your sponge to be that wet because basically right now your pottery is a sponge, and if you fill the sponge with too much water, then you're not gonna be able to glaze it right after, and you'll have to let your piece dry. So just clean, clean, clean like that. And it's ready for its all over base layer of glaze. This is what it looks like. It's a really good base glaze. I am gonna end up accenting that. We're using cone 6. So I'm gonna be using pure black on a large piece. So I need to use a big container to glaze my piece in. So this container works really well. And I wanna make sure that it fits and that I fill the glaze up to here. Also wanna make sure that I'm choosing a glaze that has enough in the bucket before I decide to use this on a piece. So this one does have enough, and as always, I need to mix it up. So I'm gonna end up accenting this piece, so a little bit of glaze like that is actually okay. So same thing, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna drop this piece. And then, so I've got pure black on this piece. Doing a little planning, I really like Alabama and the cross of Wonder Blue. Wonder Blue is toxic, but I'm actually gonna use this as a planter. So it's gonna be totally fine. It's not gonna kill the plants or anything like that. It's a trace amount of a toxic ingredient in it, so it's probably fine for even human ingestion, but we're going to be on the careful side and just use this for plants. So I'm gonna get Alabama and then Wonder Blue. I went ahead and fan brushed the inside of these instead of trying to do a bunch of multiple pour in and pour out. So I just kind of took a little bit of glaze, popped it in, and so now I want to actually dip to about here. So this bucket is too big. So when that happens, we need to get our other bucket like this, that it actually fits in. I won't need all of the glaze in here, but I will need a lot of it. So if you need someone to help you with this, always just ask. So this is Alabama Rain, and then I'm just gonna take it. And then if it hits my fingers, it's not a big deal. I'm probably gonna use a fan brush anyway to kind of make that edge a little faded. So yes, it did hit my fingers, no big deal. Right after it dries and I can pick this up, then I'll take my little fan brush and I'm just gonna soften all of the edges anyway. Plus I can kind of, since this is kind of a unique form, I can kind of make it a little bit more uniform. So I actually do this to most of the edges of things that I end up dip accenting. I end up taking a fan brush and just softening that edge. So this fits my style. If that's not your style, don't do it. Maybe don't dip as low. All right, so we have pure black, we have Alabama to here, and then I really want that gorgeous blue accent of Wonder Blue, but I have a pretty thick application of Alabama, so I definitely want to make sure I'm fan brushing my accent on. So I think I'm wanting this to be for plants. I actually have a blue sink in the kitchen, so I was thinking that this would look really cool. It's gonna have that cobalt blue on there. I was thinking it would be cool to have above my sink on the windowsill, looking out to the backyard with some little plants in there. So I don't have holes drilled in this, but I do have ceramic bits that I can use to drill some holes if I can't keep plants alive in here. And of course we'll take this piece to the mat. And it'll tell us exactly where to remove the glaze. Very good.